Hello guys, Matthew here and welcome back again to the TechTeak YouTube channel. After trying out GoPro's Hero Plus model over a year ago, this time I am meeting with its currently most advanced brother of their lineup, the Hero5 Black series. The product box shape and its general design didn't change that much. The layout is a bit different looking though, but still on it you will find a lot of your usual important informations like technical specifications, brief overview of features, for example video recording capabilities, in focus being the 4K 30fps capture capability, touch display and voice control, as well as what's included in the box, and of course you can see the camera itself on the top through this transparent showcase podium. Opening up the box and pulling everything inside out from the bottom, here in this separate box beneath the camera stand you'll find user manuals, USB cable for charging and data transfer, battery, and of course your two adhesive mounts. And here is the camera itself. First thing you'll notice is that the Hero5 Black doesn't come with your usual outer protective casing. Now it's actually completely naked, but like that it's still protected from the outside environment in a way that the device itself, its body, acts like a protective housing, something along the line of the original Hero Session model, which basically changed the concept on how GoPro makes their cameras, and now we see this trend transferring over to the regular Hero lineup. Of course you can still use it with this, so to speak, skeleton frame housing, which then goes onto your standard GoPro mounts. The build quality is as always on the level, and it has to be since the camera's housing is now in direct contact with external conditions, with nothing in between it and water, dust and other technology non-friendly factors. Now we have this almost unified body design surrounded with smooth rubber-like coating, while on the outside edge we have this diagonal pattern on which you'll find microphone and speaker holes, a couple of LED indicators, the main start and stop record button, and your usual protective cover doors. The sealing for the battery and microSD memory card on the bottom cover door is robust and has a silicone-like inside frame, as well as on the side where we have yet another door for microHDMI out and USB Type-C port. Yes, you've heard it correctly, the new Hero5 Black uses the latest USB Type-C standard, while the appropriate cable comes included as you saw in the bundle. Side note, be careful when closing those doors, make sure that everything aligns properly, especially the release buttons. Sometimes they have their own will in not completely closing, which could potentially allow some liquid to come in, while it's hard to open them to begin with. Personally, although this new design seems to be more practical, I find the older design more reliable with separate protective housing, especially since now without it you're only able to dive up to 10 meters and not 40 meters. On the front you won't find any buttons, those seen on earlier Hero models, just the camera lens and a small screen which gives you your usual informations like the recording mode, current settings, recording time and battery level. The reason why we don't have any buttons on the front is because now you will get an integrated touchscreen on the back. This bumps up the camera's usability to a completely new level. First and foremost, now you can frame your shot correctly, since you can now actually see what you're aiming at. While beside that, using this GoPro's new touchscreen menu system, you can now change core settings like ISO levels, shutter speed, change the white balance, resolution and frame rate here on the bottom toolbar, and set up a fixed exposure rate using this simple technique. You can even browse through a library of recorded media and play it back, and of course you can quickly toggle between modes using this side button, or you can do that even through Systems menu. The touchscreen itself is decent enough, it's pretty accurate, although it's a bit slow to respond, so you don't know if you actually did what you intended, or maybe it just picks up poorly. Display quality could overall be a bit better. Above all, I would like to see it being higher resolution, but it will most certainly get the job done. Screen visibility on direct sun is good and usable at full screen brightness, although the reflective nature of its glossy surface can sometimes get in the way. Of course, if you want to control all of that remotely through a smart device, you can still use the GoPro app, which is by the way now called Capture. Everything remained the same in terms of the features and additional controls which it grants. Beside the name change, GoPro also upgraded its app with this annoying bug that almost every other app has it nowadays, and that is that you have to register an account and sign in order to use it. Don't you just love that? Probably the best new cool feature on this model is its ability to do voice commands. You can start or stop video recording, take a picture, or even completely turn off the GoPro, and no, you cannot turn it back on with voice command, you need to do it manually, but nevertheless, this is a very useful feature, especially for motorcyclists, skiers, snowboarders and such. GoPro start recording. GoPro stop recording. GoPro take a picture. GoPro take burst photos. GoPro turn off. And finally coming down to the most important part of every action camera, that being its video recording capabilities. Here you will basically come across onto same sensor specifications compared to Hero5 Black model, most noticeable one of course being able to record at 4K resolution at 30 frames, 1080p resolution at 120 frames, and HD resolution at 240 frames for super slow motion, while you can take pictures up to 12 megapixels. That's all thanks to the 1x2.3-inch sensor, which is paired with their pretty standard choice of f2.8 lens, and depending on the video recording settings you can get different types of angles from super view, wide to narrow. Judging by the video quality, I would say that they are most likely using the same sensor seen on the GoPro Hero5 Black model. Overall, it's pretty decent, low light performance and dynamic range could be better, but hey, in the end, this is still a GoPro. Electronic image stabilization, which is a new add-on, works really good, but you can only use it with resolutions lower than 4K, with frame rate being below 60, as it crops out a certain percentage of the video. Audio recording quality is fairly good for an action camera, especially since now it isn't in a closed-off housing, so the two stereo microphones which GoPro Hero5 Black has can pick up sound better. There is even a special audio recording mode which reduces the noise wind, and the camera can automatically switch to it from stereo mode if it notices extensive wind noise-like sound, or alternatively you can just manually lock it to either of those if you wish so. Be sure to check out my raw video sample compilation with various different recording scenarios, resolutions and frames. All links for that are in the description box below. Second most important thing of any action camera is of course its battery life, and with the Hero5 Black model it can really vary, but bottom line it's pretty much the same compared to the last generation, although GoPro even bumped the battery capacity up to 1220 mAh. You still won't be able to get 2 full hours of video recording outside of your dead straight regular 1080p 30 frames recording mode. In practice you can expect anywhere from 1 hour and 15 to 1 hour and 45 minutes, depending on the video recording settings, GPS, Wi-Fi and image stabilization being on or off, while 4K and high frame rate recording mode can eat up battery really fast. You've probably noticed that I've mentioned GPS, and yes, now that function is finally present within this model. In terms of that, upon release it was only limited to just telling you where this picture or video was taken, but not long after that GoPro did an update on its quick application, which then gave you possibility to easily add overlay informations to your video in a form of gauges and graphs, like real-time display of speed, trajectory, height, elevation changes, G-forces and so on, just like seen on Garmin's Verb series of their action cameras. Although GoPro pretty much didn't bring anything new in terms of the camera's video and picture quality, they sure did bring in a lot of new changes when it comes to its design and user friendliness, topping it off with a bunch of new usable features. Bottom line, GoPro Hero5 Black took a huge leap forward in that field compared to previous generation. Now it's up to you to decide is it worth it for $100 in regards of your needs, especially since the competition is growing strong by the day. That's it guys for this time from me. Thank you once again for checking out the unboxing and review of GoPro's Hero 5 Black action camera. Feel free to toss me a thumbs up if you like this video, it helps me a lot. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about the product. And of course, if you would like to see more content like this, you can subscribe to the TechTeak YouTube channel, or you can just check out some of my other videos from before.